Oh boy, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode, the Sons of Montezuma podcast. We have now reached that point, guys. March is here. We are now in the final Mountain West Conference tournament. What's going on, everybody? It's Mateo, San Diego. You guys know you can follow us on Sons of Monty at Instagram. Of course, all wherever you find a podcast, you guys can download our audio episodes, and we're very happy you guys are joining the stream because this is the week. This is the week we've been waiting for. What's going on, Mr. Mike? How are you doing, Mr. Mike Tortola? It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, my friend. Big week coming up. Exciting week. A lot going on. A lot of activities, a lot of basketball, a lot of friends. It's gonna be a great week.
It's finally here. I mean, dude, like this is it. This is what we've been gearing up for the last season in the Mountain West. Of course, we thought things would be a little different, but we're going to get into everything because there's a lot to talk about. Of course, this team finished as a 2 seed, Mike. Senior night ended. The Aztecs were victorious over UNLV. I want to pull up the score here. But boy, that thing came down to the wire, man. I mean, we're talking, what was it, 89, 86?
I mean, it's always a good game against Vegas. You knew they were coming in. They're playing hot. But I honestly, man, what I want to see is I mean, first of all, big win. The 2 games I watched against Vegas on TV, I was doing Batman Legos, and we won both. So if we play in Vegas for whatever reason in the tournament, I might have to go get some Legos and bring them to the game. So, but I want to see if somebody has it, or maybe Fiend can look it up, the 3-point percentage for each team we play as opposed to the 3-point percentage against us when we play them. It just seems like, I think, V almost shot 50%. Colorado State almost shot 50%. Like, they just seem to play so much better. It's frustrating. You got to give them credit because they made the shots. You still got to make the shots. But, like, you're just sitting there, and I think at some point you're probably the same way. You're like, whatever. That guy started, 3 for 3 or 4 for 4? I mean, he's a hell of a player. I don't know.
Lawhorn.
I mean, he's
Gibbs Lawhorn.
Yeah. But, do you know what I mean? You look at it, you're like, dude, this is crazy. It can't just be me.
I was telling you before we got on, dude, I just watched that movie, The Iron Claw. Crazy movie, right? I mean, just an awesome, true story movie. And the family felt like they were cursed. And it's like this season, it's like, dude, everybody's hitting threes against us. Like, it's not of our own doing. I don't think it's, it is of our own doing, right? But these teams who don't normally hit a successful rate, they're also hitting. So, hey, hats off to Gibbs Longhorn. I mean, he's a player, dude. And you heard Dutch talk about it. Like, they gave him a lot of respect, and they knew what was coming in. And hey, I'm fortunate to get the win. About that game, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
BJ Davis, dude. BJ Davis. I mean, for us that were in the arena, it was awesome to see him take over the game, come up with so many big buckets. He really needed it. The team really needed it. And I love the coach Dutch at the end saying, look, I drew up a play for Reese. And BJ was like annoyed by it, right? He visibly showed like, I'm working my butt off in this game. I've got the hot hand. Let's go. And to Dutch's credit, you got to love this about Dutch, right? Not too proud to say, look, okay, hey, it's going to BJ. And I don't think anybody minded on the team that change. And it was the right move to make, dude. I don't know if you got anything to say about that.
It's always the right move. It's the right move. You know what I mean?
Right,
criticism, simplicity's sake. Criticism is if you drew it up for Reese, but BJ took it and missed it. Why didn't he get it to Reese? Oh, you drew it up for Reese, but BJ took it and made it. Okay, great call. So BJ just had a heater, career high, 30, 31. I mean, he was just esta muy en fuego at that point. You know what I mean? You're like, bro.
En fuego. En fuego.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm not like.
All right, Miguel. Easy.
Yeah. Tranquilo. But do you know what I mean? Like, he had a hell of a game. He played the way, like, I think we envisioned him to play after that Boise game, and he had kind of a little rub. I mean, it's a long season; nobody's perfect every day at work. Yeah. But watching him after with the interview with the lady on the CBS, he's like, just come to work, every day, and just keep grinding, keep playing, and it's going to work itself out. And it did, and it was a big win. I mean, it changed to be second place after all the expectations and all the trials and tribulations this team went through,
Yeah.
self-inflicted, not self-inflicted, injury, whatever you want to call it, there's still a hell of a lot of parity in this league. It's a hell of a league. Yeah, we might get one, maybe two bids, but the parity in this league is unbelievable. It comes down to the last game of the season to see who gets 1 through 4, not or even like 5, 1 through 8, basically.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of moving parts that it's some good basketball. And yeah, it's a bummer we didn't get, to win the title, but we still got 20 wins.
We'll get into the expectations because this year was crazy full of expectations, right?
But to close out the Mountain West at home was a nice to get a dub. By the way, we're the only original Mountain West team with a winning conference road record.
Wow. What does that say?
111 and 110, but still.
Okay. Hey, well, you know what? That's telling, though. That's telling because it shows you how tough it is to win on the road. That the most successful team, the Aztecs, one win over 500.
And obviously that's weighted back end closer to us than it was when Fish first got there and stuff like that. So, they piled those on, but 111 and 15 record in the last 126 Mountain West home games.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, man. You know what I mean? So, good way to end the season, good way to end the regular Mountain West thing at home. Now you get an extra, we get an extra day. We get an extra day than all the other teams, and Bird needs that. He's dinged up, Magoon's dinged up. So we get that extra day, get healthy, get to somewhere where they're comfortable, they're confident. This is a true, it was unfortunately, as I saw with the women had a hell of a season and they just got snake bit today.
We'll get into that. No, change the subject.
One game season.
It's
a one game season.
Focused.
It's a one game season from here on out. That's all that matters.
Bro,
one game.
All right. Better late than never. Fiend. What is going on?
SD late Fiend.
I am sorry.
Yeah. What's going on here, man?
Hey, no excuse.
From the SD Sports Fiend hat.
Yeah.
SD Sports Diva over here.
Yes.
SD Sports Diva.
I had to get all powdered up, and make sure I was all good to go for the camera and everything. My bad. I'm sorry.
First question of the night. Does Fiend have eye sensitivity issues or too much of the ganja, which is why he's always wearing sunglasses? Are those bloodshot pupils under there? What's going on?
Definitely not the ganja at all. Don't do that. And no, it's just sort of my shtick, man. I like having the shades on, man. I like rolling with the shades.
So never said something cool.
Fiend, we're getting into the end of this season. The Aztecs beat UNLV. Mike was discussing the injuries. The team is banged up, but with that win, they did get the number 2 seed. We'll get into all the seeds, the tournament bracket, and all that good stuff. But guys, let's put a bow on the regular season, right? Because this team is banged up. They finished with some momentum on senior night, right? Some momentum. A 3-point win against UNLV, who was playing really good ball down the stretch, right? But each of you guys give me your tying a bow on the regular season. Where did you where do you feel you were maybe accurate in this season, and where were you not accurate in the season? I think all Aztec Nation had higher hopes, so there's probably a lot of inaccuracies. But for me, I'll start it off. I did not expect to see BJ Davis have the kind of season that he did. Yes, like Mike said, there were some ups and downs, right? Starting against not starting. I didn't expect that, though, and I needed to see a big year from BJ. I think everybody needed to see that. Every year leading up to the opening games, you always would hear reports like, man, he's like the best guy out there on the court right now. He's tearing everything up. And it was great to really see that more consistently. Fiend, you just got in here, man. What do you got?
Yeah, one thing that I did not expect was the freshmen playing so well. I really thought that our freshmen, especially Tay Simmons, might redshirt this year. Not the case. He has earned the playing time on the floor and deserves to be in that rotation, and he might even be, deserving of starting. That's how well he's playing and gelling with his teammates on the floor. So that the play of the freshman absolutely was a surprise to me.
Mike, anything surprise you this year?
I don't know, because the expectation every year is, I don't, we expect them to win. They did come in second with, riding the ship, I guess, against UNLV. I don't know if anything surprised me, because I don't think anything really doesn't surprise me anymore. I'm everybody's surprised that Utah State keeps winning, but they keep winning with 4 different coaches in like 5 years. So that's not a really surprise. I think we knew New Mexico was going to be pretty good, Grand Canyon. But for us, I think the surprising thing for me was, that's a good question, man. I don't know. Can I
It's
put
all
a pin
right.
in it? I don't know. I don't really have a surprise, because I'm not really surprised by anything anymore, because you never know what's going to happen each game. Yeah, I thought they were going to, I thought they were going to go 17-3, but they only got 3 different games from that. So it's not a big, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really have an answer for you, man. I'm trying to find one, but I don't think anything really surprised me, because you never know what's going to happen each season. And we saw that this year.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think another thing that surprised was probably Miles Bird this year, right, on the offensive end coming in, and really Waters, right. I think everybody built up the expectations so high, and rightfully so, that obviously I think when we'll get into awards, I mean Bird has to win the Defensive Player award, or did he? Right. I mean that has to happen. But um, I think that cohesion, right. I think everybody kind of expected more of a cohesion. But look, to wrap it all up, 2 seed, second place in the conference, right? A down year in our eyes, in our estimation, our standards is number 2 seed. So, look, the Aztecs beat UNLV, had to have the win, right, Mike? Is that what's the tagline? Had to have
Had to
it.
have it.
Got
Got
it.
it. Needed it. I mean, you had to have it. You got Friday night at home, last game, seniors walking, last Mountain West regular season game, last Mountain West game. That's a big win to end your tenure in the Mountain West, and then on to what you need to do to get into the tournament now.
Anything else you guys want to bring up about the season? Because obviously this is the Mountain West tournament preview episode, the last tournament preview episode for the Mountain West. We're going to get into the matchups. Anything else you guys want to get out about this team? The roles, of course, the transfers with Odin, of course, Sean Newman. I know that was a big point of conversation all season long. Of course, we can wrap everything up, I think, when the season is completely done, wherever this destination in March takes us. But, to put a bow on things before we get into tournament talk. Anything else?
Go ahead, Fiend.
I mean, for me, the big surprise is we had so many guys that were returning, and there were just times where we just didn't look like a team. We didn't look connected, especially on the defensive end with our switches and closeouts on threes. And so that's been surprising to me. I've seen other teams in the Mountain West flip a roster and be more cohesive as a team, as a unit, than us. Yes, we added some freshmen, we added a couple of transfers, but we had a lot of pieces returning. And so maybe injuries has something to do with that, and guys in and out of the lineup, but definitely just the inconsistency with this team that we've seen this year has been a surprise in my eyes.
I think that's the story of the season right now, right up to this point.
For
Okay,
me,
I can't.
real quick. You know what?
uh,
I'm proud of these guys for sticking with it, man. You went through a tumultuous year with all this anxiety from everybody, like you're going to be the best team ever, you're going to be the most talented team ever, and they had some issues, they hit some rough waters, but they still played together. They still got the 2 seed. They still got 20 wins. They were able to figure it out. Yeah, they had a 4 out of 5 late in the season, but you know what? You get the 2 seed, you get a bye in the first round, and you still have a chance to get to the NCAA tournament if you win this tournament with 3 in a row. So, I'm proud how these guys stuck together, played together, and got through all the rough waters. And hopefully, they got 3 more dubs in them.
Okay, I can't ignore T Mac. What's going on, T Mac? Go Aztecs. Good to hang out with you again. It was great to see T Mac there Friday night, senior night against UNLV. We had ourselves a time and quite a bit of a little after party down there after the game. It was a much needed victory. So T Mac, good to have you on the stream, man. He says it's our strategy to make teams shoot threes, and hey, maybe that's why they're hitting so many, because that's a strategy to run them out and let them shoot threes. I don't know. Maybe he got that word confidential word. I didn't hear that. I don't think that would be a good strategy personally, because I think the game is shifting to the 3-point so much that everybody's trying to shoot threes, right? Of course, this is college. Not everybody's Steph Curry. Not everybody's hitting threes everywhere. I don't know about that. I hope that's not the strategy.
That's what the guys on the announcers kind of said all season. When I was listening to it, it's kind of the Pete Gillen was like, "Hey, it looks like defensively they make you kick it back out and shoot the three because they all collapse on you inside." So that's his take on multiple games. He said that. So at some point, you're like, "All right, that seems to be a habit."
Yeah, I think it's a combination of several different things. I would agree with that we are a team that gives help in the paint and at the rim, and so teams are looking to kick it out to an open 3-pointer. Coming off the pick and roll with some of our players, there's just miscommunication and leaves open threes. You have guys with late closeouts, scrambling, and then also the gamble on defense, because we're trying to get steals, and sometimes we gamble and the ball then gets moved around, and guys are scrambling to keep up, and then they find an open 3-point shooter, and teams are hitting threes against us. It's a major issue is our 3-point defense, and it really has not been good, I would say, in the last month. I don't know what we rank as far as like Mountain West Conference rankings in that category, but I don't think it's very good. Our 3-point defense has been bad, and that can be a real problem for us in the tournament if teams find open looks and knock them down.
We are number 5, San Diego State, in opponent 3-point field goal percentage. Number 5 teams are hitting about 33%. So it's not the best. New Mexico's got the best.
In the
last
month, if you look in the last month, it's even worse. So
in conference, they are 4th. So yeah, that'll be interesting, because we did finish with a gauntlet against some of the better teams, right? I mean, Utah State, New Mexico, Boise. These are teams that were hot. Colorado State. So I'm sure that number.
Plus, we played some on the road. Let's give them that credit. We played some teams on the road at elevation. Guys get tired. You're going to be a step slow. So,
okay,
that could be part of it.
I appreciate you, Luis Torres. He says that was the Lobos strategy, and teams have been lighting us up. I don't know if that was lighting you guys up. I mean, you guys are number 1. If you are a Lobos fan, Luis, what's going on? 30%. That's the lowest in the Mountain West in conference play. New Mexico has the lowest 3-point opponent field goal percentage. So appreciate the super chat there, Luis. We're about to get into the matchups, and there might be another chance that our teams have a third and final meeting here. But
I think he is an Aztec fan, but he's talking about when the Lobos played us, they lit us up because they were getting into the paint and then kicking
gotcha.
out.
Okay. I misunderstood. Very good point there.
Yeah, we don't want to put you in that corn salsa category, Luis. We apologize.
Oh, man. We were all corn and the salsa eaters for one day on Saturday, and New Mexico, they just let us down. Never trust corn and the salsa, not even for one day. Okay, guys, let's move ahead, because it's tournament time, right? The season's over. Regular season's over. It's time to move forward. We're heading out to Vegas. We're about to get there, and the vacation home, we got to reclaim what's ours, guys. San Diego State has been known to take over the Thomas and Mack. 7 tournament championships over the course of the Mountain West existence since 1999. The Aztecs have won a lot more regular season championships, 7 tournament championships, which is probably a lot less than they probably should have been. I mean, it seems like they're in the championship game almost every other year. They've missed out. The last year, and it was an early exit for the Aztecs last season against Boise. Whether that's gonna happen again, I'm sure glad we got that bye week or the bye game, that opening round. So let's look at the actual bracket if we can for a second, guys, because let's share the screen with you guys here.
I think that was the first time we weren't in the championship game in like 7 or 8 years last year.
Yeah.
Like it was a long run.
Yeah, I've been to the tournament every year since 2016, including the COVID year, and we had always played 3 games. In 2017, we got to the semis. We didn't get to the finals.
So there you guys see it. The number 1 seed, Utah State. Number 2, San Diego State. 3, New Mexico. 4, Grand Canyon. All have that first round bye. So we will all be waiting on Thursday to play the winners of the first round. And as you guys see at UNLV, you guys can see they're matched up with Wyoming at that 8 and 9 spot. 5 versus 12, Nevada against Air Force. Colorado State, Fresno State, Boise State, the 6th seed against San Jose State, guys. So let's get into these matchups because I think this has got to be maybe one of the more compelling Mountain West tournaments in a little bit of time, right? Because I mean, towards the end of the season, we lost 4 out of 5, 4 out of 6, if you want to count, right? New Mexico stumbled. Utah State stumbled against us. Grand Canyon was kind of a herky-jerky team all throughout the year, a little inconsistent, but they came on strong and kind of beat the teams that they should beat and earned that 4 spot. And then some teams just got hot, like Colorado State, Boise, UNLV. So I feel like it's pretty up for grabs on any given game. Somebody can get upset, and somebody will get upset. I mean, it's guaranteed to happen. Somebody's going to get knocked out. Who that's going to be, we'll find out. So let's look at UNLV Wyoming really quick. Just kind of a snapshot. UNLV 8 seed, 9 seed Wyoming. We just saw UNLV. Gibbs Lawhorn is a player. Was he an Illinois transfer, right, Fiend? The kid is a baller. Shoots a high volume of shots. He's got some young guys around him as well that are very physical. We saw it. They're athletic. They can run the floor. Not as how would you say, as tough, I think, as most teams you're going to see once you get to the next round. That size may be an issue for them. But I was impressed with how they've been playing towards the end of the season, just putting it in Lawhorn's hands, letting him create, and just playing with super energy. Of course, their coach is an absolute spaz. He was just freaking out on the sidelines. I can't believe it took him so long to get a warning or get a penalty. Fiend, you were probably looking down upon him, dude. What did you see from their coach there? I always forget his name.
Yeah, Josh Pastner. I'm surprised he didn't get teed up. I mean, he was at half court at one point, right? Like, and he kept pounding on the table, and I don't know. John Schaefer said something about his microphone not working or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean that like he takes Leon Rice is bad, right? But Leon Rice kind of has some constraint. But Josh Pastner, you're right. He does not have any self-control, and so I'm really surprised he didn't get teed up, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does get teed up in the tournament.
I think Leon Rice is more of a whiner. He's probably more working the refs.
Yeah,
probably whining to the refs a little bit more. Passenger was just like freaking out at his players, like trying to get their attention and like hype them up.
He's intense, man. Like him and Pete Gillen have a connection there. Like there was listening to it, and Gillen's like, "That's my guy," but I got to be impartial here. So Pastner was all over Gillen that game in terms of you can hear him on the TV, you can hear him pounding on the thing right in front of the announcers because it was right there. But you know, it was weird because his enthusiasm didn't match the spot the enthusiasm should have came at. It was like a delayed enthusiasm. Like they hit a nice 3, and he was like, "Yes, let's go," and then when something like after the fact, he went kind of bananas. So. But yeah, he had a lot going on in that game.
Well, so he's going against a suit and tie with those sneakers, dude.
Yeah.
Very early 2000s of him.
But
right?
That's going to be interesting. UNLV is my dark horse. I mean, they're playing phenomenal basketball, and it's at home. Like Fiend said, they struggle a little bit on the road, but they're playing at home. They're playing well. Quite frankly, they probably should have beat us, but they didn't. We made 1 or 2 more plays. BJ saved us, quite honestly. But they're playing excellent basketball, and the other kid Jones is a great player too. So they're dangerous. We already see what they've done to Utah State at home. So that is going to be in it. There's a couple, I'm not going to go ahead to the other ones. I have some takes on the other ones, but UNLV, I expect to be at Wyoming, and I'm going to call it right now. I think UNLV, if they get to the second round, they're going to beat Utah State.
I would agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you that they're going to beat. I think they're going to beat Wyoming. Although Wyoming did beat Grand Canyon on the road, right. That's pretty impressive. And so don't sleep on them. I mean, Wyoming's got a pretty good squad. They have a good coach. It seems like they're playing a little better too. But UNLV is just playing, especially on offense, not so much their defense, but their offense has been explosive. And I don't know why we did not attack Dre Gibbs Lawhorn after he got his first foul. Like, I was screaming from the top of Viejas, go at him. And we didn't. And he just kept torching us at three after layup. And finally, in the second half, they put it in BJ's hands and he went at him. Lawhorn's not a very good defensive player. One of these teams is going to figure out that the best way to neutralize a player that's unstoppable is to attack him on the offensive end, to make him play defense and to get him into foul trouble. Because as he goes, so does UNLV. Someone's going to figure that out, and I think that could be the demise of UNLV, and you could see an early exit if they do attack DGA or DGL on the offensive end.
Fiend, I do have it under good authority that was part of the plan to go after him. I got this word after the game. But hey, as Dutch says, players in March. It's a players game in March. You have to execute. Players execute. Coaches can say all they want. They can try to instruct the guys all they want, but the players are the ones out there on the court, and they've got to do it, right?
I mean, that would have been so easy just to clear out, go empty set, and go one-on-one with him, and we didn't do it until BJ in the second half. But I think we kind of figured it out late. And he got that third foul on him, and I was thinking, man, just go right back at him again, get that fourth. You get that fourth, and now he's on his heels, and he's not going to play. He's not going to play defense. And then you saw BJ go right to the bucket on him. Teams are going to figure that out.
Well, I mean, defensively, maybe offensively, no. He's averaging 21 points a game this season for a reason.
But that's what I mean. If you want to neutralize him on the offensive end, you get him into foul trouble on the defensive end.
Nobody's done it yet. So I don't know if you know what I mean. I get what you're saying, but I mean the kid is phenomenal. Like he dropped 42 on Nevada, and Alford's like, what are you going to do here, dude? Like, he's unguardable. And so like you get going, like you could tell he just was. I was just like, holy, this guy's a problem, man.
He's not a good defender,
but he's an amazing. But he's a great offensive player.
Oh, give him.
Can we all agree? We believe UNLV is going to advance in this round against Wyoming. I think that's pretty safe to say. Okay, all right, we can agree on that. And that he's a great player. All right, let's look at the next game, guys. We do have more games coming up. Oh, not that one. Want to look at? Well, okay. Well, we'll look at that one. Let's see. What do we got here, guys? Next up, Nevada Air Force. Now, this is the 5 seed against the 12 seed. Winner gets Grand Canyon. This is going to be an ugly game. Air Force.
They just beat Air Force. They played them on Saturday, so they just beat them.
Air Force has not won one game in the conference. Just pencil Nevada in, and let's move on.
Let's move on. Yeah.
We don't need to talk about this game.
Yeah.
What? There are some Falcons fans out there that are dying to hear what. Okay, maybe not dying. All right.
Maybe
I don't expect them to have their first one of the season.
It's not going to happen. Move on.
Camper Jr. All right, guys. Next one. Let's move forward.
This is the interesting.
Colorado State. Fresno State. Colorado State, Fresno State. This is the number 7 against the number 10. Winner gets the Aztecs. Keeping it to this game, the Rams and Fresno State. The Rams were basically the hottest team down the stretch. They beat us at home. They did get the end of their run put on them, and it was put on them by Boise State in that last game. That was pretty handily. But the Rams are solid. I mean, they were playing at a different level towards the end. They're highly favored to win this game. Fresno State, this should be a win for the Rams. I think Fresno is okay, they've got a nice little steadying presence in their coach, and Heidbreder came and he's doing his thing, 16 points a game, but I just don't see this being anywhere near a game. Am I wrong for this, guys?
Yeah, I mean, they should win. They absolutely should win. But let's go back to what happened on February 24th, where Fresno State played at Moby Arena, and they were up on Colorado State, and they're in their home court, and Colorado State had to claw back to get that win by 4. So this is not going to be a pushover. I do think that Colorado State advances, but I think it could be a good game.
I mean, and then Fresno State beat Colorado State at home, and that was earlier in the season. I'm going to take Fresno State.
Wow,
why not? Screw it.
Oh,
that's going to be my in this game my wild card. I think Fresno State's going to beat them.
Here's the thing with Colorado State, like they could blow them out by 30, or they could lose the game, and it all hinges on how well they shoot the 3. If they don't shoot,
sounds like us.
I mean, they live and die by the 3. Not really us, because we don't. Our volume is not nearly as large as Colorado State, but same thing happened to them when we played them. They didn't shoot the ball well from 3. I think when we played them at home, and they did when we went on the road, and it was a totally different outcome. So you never know what team you're going to get with this Colorado State team, although they have been more consistent.
I mean, us blowing out Utah State and then not coming through. So not necessarily 3-point shooting, but they could be similar. I think it's going to be a good game. I just think I'm gonna pick the wild card. I'm gonna throw Fresno State just for a hey. Why
I have to do a side bet on that,
Mike. Well, I'm going with Colorado State. I'm not going to pick against that hot hand. They had a speed bump there against Boise, but I think they got enough. They're too talented. I think they've shown. So, okay. Moving on back to the bracket, Boise, San Jose State. I think Boise is playing at a much higher level now than they were. They are healthy. And I don't think San Jose State has they do have Garland. He is a player. I mean, the dude is he's put up 20 points a game, which is pretty impressive no matter what league you're in. I just don't see it happening. Boise's too big, too strong. They got this one in the bag.
Yeah, slim to none chance for San Jose State. They're going home in the first round like they always do. So pretty much.
Going against the grain, Mike?
No, I'm taking Boise. They're just too hot. They're on fire right now. They're playing unbelievable ball.
Okay, all right. I'm glad to see we're all in agreement there. Boise is averaging 78 points, San Jose 71, but I don't think that's going to matter. Boise, they've got some good defense, and like I said, they're getting healthy. So, okay, guys, that ends that first round. Can we advance the ball and to what we really all want to talk about, and that are the potential quarterfinal matchups? Of course, let's keep it down here in New Mexico, because the winner of that Boise State San Jose State game will play against the Lobos, the number 3 seed. Of course, I think we all think it's going to be Boise State. So Boise State, New Mexico is a really, really, really intriguing matchup, guys. When you look at the bigs, when you look at the coaches, I think for as much as I give Leon Rice, he is a good coach. He's proven it. They've won the Mountain West before. Not many coaches in the conference can say that. And so he's got the experience. But let's talk about New Mexico a little bit. Now, first-year coach. Mike says he wasn't surprised. Fiend, you were not surprised. We've all seen Coach Olin in his days at UCSD. I don't think anybody in the Mountain West was really surprised. I don't think they were ready for what New Mexico was going to bring this year, and they sure brought it. I think we'd had actually a voicemail, and I see Lewis in the chat. I think we had a voicemail from a Lobo fan, and hey, shout out to them. They do chime in on the podcast occasionally. They check it out. So you know what, we were actually left a voicemail from a Lobo fan, and I feel like we should give them their ear. Lewis in the chat, I don't know if this was you, bro, but hey, let's see what Lobo fan has got to say about the situation. Lewis, just let us know in the chat if this was you. Just let us know.
To an automatic voice message system. Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, is this recording? Hey, is this recording? Hey, fools! This is Choosing Guys on the 505, vatos. Hey, just want to call in and apologize to Big Mikey. I said some stuff in the comments. I think I hurt his feelings. I didn't know he was so mad. He seems like an okay vato, pero sometimes he gets kind of weird and says some weird stuff, you know. I don't think he watches the games. Maybe you should stick to those really dry ass sandwich reviews, you know, where they don't even toast a pan. Waka. Hey, vatos, I just thought the whistling vato, I forget his name, something, Fiend. I thought he made better points, that's all. He had a lot of good numbers and his stats, and he's all about the numbers, especially the 505. Hey, go Lobos, chale, wait. Anyways, I apologize to the big dog, Mike. Sorry, vato, it's all good. We all love you over here in the ABQ. Remember, whenever you're back at the ABQ, we could spoon feed you some of that corn salsa, vato, if you know what I mean. Simón, órale. Anyway, hey, and for the whistling vato, I forget his name. The guy, you know, the big Shrek-looking guy. Hey, glad you're going to the Pac-12, Don't bring that whistling shit here in the pit, because in a pit and space, no one can hear you whistle, You know what I'm saying? Nah, Charlie Holmes, that was just a joke. That was like a alien movie reference, if you know what I'm talking. But you know what aliens? No, not the aliens. Though, you know those vatos, not the vatos that ICE chases around, but you know the outer space vatos. Anyway, Orale Holmes, I'll get you fools later. Peace out, mofos. Maybe I'll see you over in Las Vegas. Vatos, say what's up to your abuelitas. Bye.
Lewis confirms it's not him. I appreciate you, Lewis. He says he is a Lobos fan, but that was not him. We can officially know it was not Lewis. But hey, man, he says he'll see us in Vegas. He'll buy us around. Que viva los pinche Lobos. Hey, Mike, what did you feel about the 505? Is that what ABQ shouting you out, dude?
I mean, I'm not particularly comfortable with when he said, I'll feed you corn salsa. You know what I mean? I don't know what you mean. And I don't really want to know what you mean because I'm not comfortable with that. Right. Like stranger danger. That was funny, dude. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. So.
Oh, Fiend, I don't know how you feel about what you just heard, the whistling vato, Fiend.
Hey, man, those guys in the 505, man, they wild, dude. They wild.
Those are Fiend's people. That was fun.
Oh, Fiend, the whistling vato. I love it. That's great. That was great. Hey, you know what, though?
Hey, they did remember at Arizona, right? They asked me. The fans did ask me if I was Mexican, remember?
Which is ridiculous. That's completely crazy to me. That's completely
Yeah. Shout out to our callers. We have the best callers. We have the best voicemail leavers. If you guys have not taken advantage of our voicemail hotline, make sure you guys write that number down. 619-777-8837. Anytime you guys want to leave your take, leave your voicemail, and you might make it on the show. Your actual voice. All right, let's keep moving because this game is actually going to be it's going to be a really good one. It's going to be a really good one. So Lobos, no, not that one. Lobos and the Broncos is what we think it's going to be. There we go. Okay. Fane, let's talk about the Lobos a little bit. Two likely, whoever's going to win Freshman of the Year, it's going to be from the Lobos. It's going to be from the Lobos, right? It should be, in my opinion, it should be Hall.
Sure.
I mean, he is an absolute player. I said in the chat the other day, I think he's like Jimmer 2.0. Like he really has the potential to be just a really, really, really great college basketball player. I have no shame in saying that. I think that is like a really great compliment. I remember the days going against Jimmer, and the dude was just unstoppable. We're seeing Hall do things as a freshman that are he's just unbelievable. I mean, he almost took down Utah State. He kept them in that ball game when Bull John was like MIA in that game, right? They really put a lid on the basket on him. So, what are your thoughts on this matchup? Well, before we let Mike just kind of rip about the corn and the salsa and all that stuff. But what do you think on this matchup, Fiend?
I mean, I think it's a really tough matchup for New Mexico. I'm glad that we're not playing Boise State because they've kind of had our number. And look, Boise State went into the pit and they got a win over New Mexico. Now, I think it was Luis in the chat said that, or I'm not sure if it was Luis, it was another Lobo fan. They said that it's going to be Pit West there, right, in Vegas. And we absolutely know that. The Lobo fans, they travel. They love their team. We should expect that they're going to pack that place. It is going to be a home court advantage for the Lobos when they play the Broncos. However, they have not been as good at home as they normally have been, right? And so I don't know how much that is going to be an advantage for them. Broncos are tough. They're playing great basketball. They're getting, pretty good point guard play. They have a great center that I think matches up well with Boljon in Fielder, something that we don't have really. And so I think it's going to be tough for the Lobos, and I got to pick the Broncos. I think the Broncos advance.
Oh man, Mike, you got any rebuttal to that? I know you consider Boise the Aztecs rival there for the last couple of years, just because, like Fiend said, dude, we had Fitz playing against them. How do you see them matching up with New Mexico and their two freshmen of the year?
I mean, I think Boise's playing phenomenal basketball right now. They're the hottest team, but it is very difficult to beat a team 3 times in one season. They beat them at home, and then they beat them at the pit. They barely beat them at the pit. I think honestly, I think it's going to be a toss up. I'm only leaning to Boise just because I think they're hotter than New Mexico right now.
Wow, you guys. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Both you guys picking Boise.
The other thing too is Boise will be playing San Jose State. It'd be interesting to see the 4 teams who have the bye, how they come out against 4 good teams. In theory, if Colorado State beats Fresno, the high seeds pass on to the second round, and those 8 teams are interchangeable. Honestly, any of those teams can beat each other on any given day. So it's again, it's matchups. It's going to be who comes out hot. There could be fouls, but I just think if Boise gets a game under their belt against San Jose State, then they come out and they play New Mexico, they might be a little bit more in sync than New Mexico. That's the thing I always look for in the first round games. We've had that issue. Remember Colorado State a couple years ago against Stevens, they came out because they had played the game. So I just think Boise State, if they were to beat San Jose State, have 6 in a row, momentum, confident, and New Mexico. I think New Mexico is a good team, but I think this is going to be a really good game.
I think Boise is going to win pretty handily.
What's pretty handily, like double digits, or just by like?
No, I think they'll cover
5
the
or
spread.
6.
I think they'll cover the spread on this game. Look, if you look at Torvik's numbers since February 1st, New Mexico is the 10th best team at home, 2-3 record. According to, if you believe in Torvik's stats, Boise's 3rd. Well, that would be at home. We don't have a neutral court. But you got to imagine that's going to be like a home court. So I don't think it really, is a big deal for New Mexico in this case. And Boise has been the best team on the road since February 1st in the Mountain West. And so I do think Boise is just playing phenomenal basketball. It's going to be very, very tough for New Mexico to overcome that.
Just one final tidbit, because I know I kind of went so big on Jake Hall. That first game against Boise, 2 points, 1 for 10 field goals in a 62-53 loss in Boise. In the second game, Jake Hall, I want to say 19 points, and that was in the pit. So third time might be a charm. We'll see if he can go off even more. I know I'm putting a lot on the young man's shoulders there. He's got a team around him with Albury and of course Hop and a couple other talented guys there. But I'm gonna have to go against the grain with you guys. I'll say New Mexico is gonna advance. I think they're gonna set up another third meeting with the Aztecs. I think it's fate, it's destiny. It's got to happen.
Boise's got a lot of length at the wing and the guard positions. I don't think that matches up well for New Mexico.
I will agree with that. This is the Madness of March, guys. I want to thank you guys for joining the stream. We're going to bring in Aztec Flavor. You guys know him from the show. We're going to get his opinions on a couple games coming up. What's going on, Flavor Guy? How are you doing? Was it exciting for you to see Guy Fieri in Viejas last Friday?
Yeah, and I'm glad we got a win against his school, UNLV, right? So, yeah, I didn't know he was going to be there, but I'm happy to see him. He's great, but more happy to see the win. So, like you guys said, we needed that senior night, last Mountain West regular season game, being on the pretty bad side of the bubble, and against a red hot UNLV. So I'm glad we got that. BJ was a dog, so
isn't Fieri's kid like a team manager for us?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
He is. Yeah. Well, that's a tough decision. They said somebody tweeted out they didn't see Guy Fieri cheer like at all during the game, right? Because your alma mater, your son's team, like, what are you gonna do? Just enjoy the game. Just enjoy the game. Sit that one out. Okay, guys, let's talk about. We all picked Colorado State to advance, and that would put them in our quarterfinal matchup with the Aztecs. Number 7 seed against the number 2 seed. Of course, the Rams got the better of the Aztecs the last time they played there in Fort Collins. It was a tough physical game. We talked a little bit about the Rams already, but one of the names that I think that really might give us some fits on that Rams roster, and that's the big boy, man. That big boy, how do you pronounce his name again? Is it Bemba? Bemba. He's built like Roddy. He's kind of got that big frame.
He's new Roddy.
And he could hit the threes. He's starting to hit the threes. That percentage is starting to raise up. The whole team can hit threes, right? They're one of the best in the nation, if not the best. And we talked about the strategy. The Aztecs, they want you to shoot threes. Well, it didn't work out for us on the road that last game. Of course, at home, Fort Collins, the Rams are a little bit of a different story. How do you see this falling out? A Flavor Guy, just to give you your first crack at this game, the Aztecs. You see anything differently in this game?
Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, not to go back too far, but Fresno certainly does have a chance against them. So I don't think we're necessarily playing Colorado State, because Fresno played against them well both times. I think Colorado State's the more talented, better team, but I think that Fresno has a better matchup. But if we play Colorado State, that would still be my pick anyway. We beat them badly in our home, and we lost to them pretty badly in their home. And I know we haven't been as much of a road warrior this year as we usually are. We fill up Vegas every year, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously, low altitude. We'll see. It's like we'll see if Bemba's good, and then like Dutch says, March is for players. We'll see if BJ steps up, if Reese steps up. I'm also really hoping. I was yelling that last game, like, Reese, we need you in Vegas. BJ obviously took over the last one, but we need them both. So it depends who steps up. If you made me pick a team, I'd pick us, but that's going to be a rough matchup. That's really close to 50-50 in my book. I mean, Colorado State did just get stomped by Boise at home, but they were otherwise red hot, and now Boise's red hot, and so everybody's ups and downs. And Utah State looked to be cold, especially with the game before the last one against UNLV. And yet they're the 1 seed, and they're still probably the favorite to win it. So it's hard to say. I would pick us, but it depends who shoots well. It depends if they shoot threes, if we shoot threes. My main thing for us is rebounds and turnovers this year. Yeah, those are the stats. Mike, how do you feel about Butler, man? He had himself a nice game, and he's had himself a nice stretch towards the end of the season.
Chase on Colorado State. Yeah, he's a good player, man. I mean, his dad was an athlete. His dad was a great athlete, and he was always good at basketball. So he's a good little player, man. So he, he'll get recruited by Illinois or Washington, just because you're just okay, right? I think, but yeah, I mean, they're. I mean, obviously, we're gonna win that game. I don't care who we play. For me, we're gonna beat whoever we play.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so I think it's gonna be every matchup is gonna be tough. Fresno State, I think, is well, Fresno State would be a easier matchup, I guess, if you want to put it like that. But Colorado State is still a good team. They've only lost one in the last 8 or 9. So they're not to be messed around with. And we have an extra day, but that'll be a good game too. But I think if we can come out hot, like we did kind of at home, they came out hot against us in Colorado State. We just couldn't climb back. We can put them away early, but we need to come out hot.
Fiend, any thoughts on this matchup? What do the Aztecs have to do to win this game against the Rams, if that is in fact the seeding matchup?
This is his best take yet.
Lovely.
You're muted.
Lovely.
Excuse me.
Oh, the Kawhi laugh. Oh, that's so good.
Right after he did the Kawhi laugh. There you go.
All right. Yeah. So I think it's really important that we not get off to a slow start. That is the most important thing. These teams that play on Wednesday have the advantage over the teams that start their tournament on Thursday, and that they're more familiar with the court, the rims. They've had a game to kind of just, get into the tournament, whereas a lot of teams will start off cold, who are playing on Thursday. And that is my concern, is that we get off to a slow start. I want to get out fast. I want to, set the rhythm, set the tone for this game from the jump. And so I think that's going to be a key for us. We can't get into a big hole like we've been doing on some of these games. And, I know we're going to talk about the women, but that's kind of what happened to them today against Air Force. And so that's a big concern of mine. The guy that I'm probably most concerned about on that Colorado State team is Kerry Booth. He lit us up for 22 points at Moby Arena, posterized Heidi. He was a monster. He was a monster for us, you know. So I don't know how we, attack him, how we keep him off the boards, how we keep him from dunking all over us. He is going to be a big challenge for us. So our bigs really have to step up, I think, in this game for us to have a good chance to win it.
Let's talk a little bit about ourselves, right? And I thank you, Fiend, for kind of dipping into the booth. He was a player. He was a player that game. Magoon Gloth, obviously seeing the way his season went, kind of in and out, battling the injury, the hip injury. It was, setback. Hey, he had to own up to some accountability during the year, right? By coach, and just not fulfilling the standard, I think was used, the word, the obligations. So it's been an interesting year for Magoon. Whether he's back next year or not is immaterial. Right now, in the moment, in this conference tournament, it's 3. They got to win 3 in a row just to get to the big dance. What kind of Magoon do you guys expect to see realistically in this tournament, and especially in this first game against Colorado State, if that is the matchup? That physical presence is going to have to be there, but I don't know what to expect. I mean, are we going to see somebody who is on fire? Are we going to see that skill set really come out and be put on display? Or is this team basically going to, defer to each other as kind of they have been all season long? I mean, in kind of a non-cohesive way, as we've talked already about the not being consistent throughout the season. BJ took the game over against UNLV. I don't know if we're going to maybe see that type of mentality, knowing that, look, it's 3 or nothing from somebody like a Magoon or maybe even like a Pharaoh, right? I'll leave that one open for whoever wants to tackle that topic. I
mean, for me personally, March is for guards. So however BJ and Reese play is how we're going to play. I think Goon is I think we talked about, he hasn't played as much. We had those discussions like, hey, he's not in there. Why isn't he playing? I don't think he's healthy, and I think with his frame, I think teams are banging him inside and he's worried about getting hurt, maybe subconsciously. And so, I mean, it's physical down below. And he kind of, when he fell last game, he kind of grabbed his knee, and I was like, oh shit. So there's some concern there for me about his health and his worry about getting further injured. So I think that's why he's playing more on the outside. Now, again, he is a talented 3-point shooter. I think he's a great mid-range shooter. So I think in terms of that, you have to take advantage of that. And, obviously, like Dutch says, we're a better team if he plays well. Yeah, obviously, you know what I mean? So I think you got to tweak the game a little bit to adjust Goon being kind of a, outside mid-range guy more than the inside. And have Tay and Heidi and Pharaoh down deep. And that's I think I don't know what to expect from him, I guess is my answer. I don't know what to expect from Goon. Some games he looks great, some games he doesn't. So, with 5 days off, one more day than everybody else, that's going to definitely help. But we need him that first game, and then come what may after that.
I don't know if I really agree with it that we absolutely need him for that game. I mean, because he is playing hurt, and he visibly it's affecting him physically and probably mentally as well. He played 5 minutes in that game at Colorado State. He still won the battle of the boards. So I don't feel like we absolutely need Goon in that game. If he gives us some productivity, great, that's awesome. But I mean, our other guys like Heidi, Pharaoh, Tay Simmons has to be big on the boards. I'm more concerned about Bird's health. I'm way more concerned about that knee and how he responds to the treatment he gets this week. He had I think 9 boards at Colorado State. We need him to be a big rebounder, and it's just got to be a collective effort of our team. I mean, when Colorado State shoots a lot of threes, when they don't make them, the ball rebounds, weird angles and comes off far. So it's got to be 5 guys stealing off, their players and grabbing the boards and really going after it. So that's the type of production we need that's going to get us a win.
Flavor guy, you got any last things on that topic or anything related to this game?
Yeah, I mean, every game is different, and every game somebody steps up. So obviously, last game it was BJ. I think there was a series where it was basically Magoon and Waters were knocking everything down, and Bird was missing everything. And then the next game, those two missed everything, and Bird made everything. And it's like every game is different, and maybe it's rest, and maybe it's the opponent, and maybe it's whatever else. But we're a deep team. Everybody knows that. Dutch knows that. Dutch likes to sub a lot. It's like you talked about in the beginning with in the press conference interview with Dutch about BJ, where BJ's like, "Give me the ball, don't give it to Reese," right? Where it's you've got to see who's hot and who's cold, and you've got to do that pretty quick, and you've got to be willing to rotate pretty quick if it doesn't work. Like Magoon is great, and then we play him for short periods of time because that's when he's best. So you got to get 100% out of everybody on the court. If somebody's not 100%, take them out. We got a very deep bench of guys that will, can be 100%. So we'll see who's hot, but yeah, it'll be a good matchup.
So who has the Aztecs advancing? Mike has them. I have them. Fiend. We all in agreement.
I'm taking them advancing. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Flavor guy, thank you, dude. We're gonna move on to the next game, man. We'll have you lurking around in the back and see if we bring you back in. We'll see, man. Thank you, dude. What is next? Are we gonna keep moving along in this last Mountain West tournament preview? Air Force in Nevada. We didn't talk about it. We said Nevada. So Nevada against Grand Canyon. Any thoughts on this, guys? I think Grand Canyon will take them. I think Grand Canyon, this being their first Mountain West tournament, they're going to bring the Havocs. They're going to bring the house. They're going to bus in the children from the desert. They're going to bus in all their online students from all over the world. They're going to bring them in from planes, trains, automobiles, on donkeys, on sheep, on camels. They're going to bring them all in, all their kids, all their generations, and yeah, they're going to show up, man. The Havoc's going to be there. It's going to be, honestly, I'm kind of excited to see it. I'll be a little annoyed, but I'm a little excited to see it. Between them, Aggie fans, Lobo fans, it's going to get real weird. It's going to get real weird in the Thomas and Matt, guys. I don't know if you guys are ready for this, but Mr. East Tahoe, you think Nevada's got a chance to beat these dudes?
I'm taking Nevada for my Nevada brethren up here, for my guys. I'm going to take Nevada because you know what? Grand Canyon's a good team, but I think Nevada is streaky, and I think
Stop the cap.
Good ball. But I'm going to take them just because I live up here, so I'm going to take Nevada.
Smart man. Yes. Fiend, do you disagree with that, homeboy?
Yes, I do disagree with that, homeboy.
Ridiculous.
I think Grand Canyon is just playing too good a basketball, and I don't think Nevada has been as good lately. They have some good guards. They've got Price. He might be able to play with the Demerol guy. They've got so much length and so much athleticism on that team, on that Grand Canyon team. And like you said, it's going to be a home game for them. I don't think the Nevada fans are going to travel down there to Las Vegas, and so I fully expect Grand Canyon to advance in that game.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, I got GCU winning. I think it's 2-1. And first year in the tournament, I think they're gonna turn some heads. Now, you guys had UNLV advancing to play Utah State. Mike, I think did you call UNLV beating Utah State? Was I correct?
I think UNLV will beat Utah State.
Wow. Okay. All right. I don't know if I agree with that, guys. When I look at this Utah State at home, I mean, does that really matter for UNLV, guys? I mean, we take over UNLV. Everybody takes over UNLV at the Thomas and Mack in the tournament. Like they haven't gotten out of the quarterfinals, right? In how many years? So, I mean, Mike, I understand maybe this is the year you're going to put money on the Rebels or something like that. I don't know. But come on. Is this the year you think they're going to get out of the quarterfinals? I think so.
But last year was the first year we hadn't got on the first round in 9 or 10 seasons. So things change. I think UNLV is playing really well. They curb stomped Utah State last game. They beat them or played them. You know what I mean? And didn't one of the guys on Utah State get hurt? Like with his shoulder or something like that?
Ooh, that was a collision, bro. That was a collision.
So hopefully he's okay. I mean, you obviously want to beat a team at full strength, right? But you also wouldn't oppose taking advantage of a team if they're not. I just like UNLV. I just like UNLV at home, if you want to call it. I think their fans will show up, and I think they'll beat them. I think they're going to beat Utah State.
Wow. Okay, Fiend. I see T-Mac is also in support of Mike, and his Utah State did not play well against UNLV all season. I mean, Utah State, let's be honest, number 1 seed. Okay. Who did they beat last? Memphis. That was like a really weird out of conference game towards the end of the year. Was that Memphis, right? Number 1 seed, right? They got blown out by us at home, but then they regained their stronghold on the conference against New Mexico at the end of the year. I'm impressed by Utah State. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that they have that dynamic guy like a Merrill or like they did in the past. But I think overall their length is pretty crazy. They got gamers on the team. Like they play with a lot of passion. The coach is solid. They've got the resume. I think even if they just make the championship, I think they're in the dance. Personally, what do you think on this game? You think UNLV is going to knock them off?
No, I do not think. I think Utah State is pissed from that game at the Thomas and Mack, and so I think that is going to be. I think they're going to flip it on its head. Not that they're going to blow out UNLV, but I think they're going to get the win. I mean, they beat them twice. They beat them on their home floor. I see Utah State locking in for this game and pulling out a win and finding a strategy. That coach is too good to not have that team ready and to have a good game plan to correct the mistakes that they made the last time they played at the Thomas and Mack. And so I don't expect the Rebels to get out of the quarterfinals again. Maybe next year when all the Pac-12 teams leave and it's UTEP and whatever other online school that Gloria Navarez brings into the Mountain West, maybe they'll have a chance to advance past the quarterfinals. But no, they're going to go out on a losing streak this year.
Oh, I think Templin heard his coach tell him the game plan against UNLV.
Sweep the leg.
Oh, dang, man. Get a body bag. Hey, I think was it Drake Allen? I think that's the kid who got hurt. Drake Allen.
No, I think it was Keller. Yeah, Keller.
Keller.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, Zach Keller. Big boy. Yeah, I got to go against you, Mike. I think Utah State's going to advance. So this is not going to be the year UNLV gets out of the quarterfinals. I think Utah State's too talented, man. They're too talented, too focused. It pains me to say it.
I knew you guys love them.
Do you guys think Wonder Boy comes back to visit? Where is he playing at these days? Where's
Are you talking about
Ashcroft?
Ashworth? Mike's boy.
No, that's Fiend's
Mike's
guy.
boy, yeah.
That's Fiend's guy,
Oh,
dude.
oh! Now Bree's
Taking
denying.
photos with him in the food court. What did you guys have for dinner that night? Like some orange chicken at Panda Express or what, dude?
Yeah.
Just
Gosh,
pretty
I
good,
can't remember. It's been so long. I just remember that he had no idea who you were.
It's not a shock. He knew who you were.
Hey, T-Mac, he keeps calling me out, man. He says I'm scared of the New Mexico Chupacabra. No, I haven't been compromised. I'm calling it real. I think Utah State is a talented team, man. I think they're going to advance. All right.
I mean,
don't hate me.
Like, yeah, and we talked. I mean, you know that you beat them twice this year by double digits, right?
Hey, man, I view it like
to me that tells there's a matchup problem for Utah State. When I see a team beat them by 10, which probably was a little bit more, they probably closed the gap, and then they beat them by what? Is that 27? Something like that. That they have a matchup problem against UNLV. There is a.
What's the wager? What's the wager between us three here?
Taco Bell's Cantina, right? I already owe you Taco Bell Cantina.
I'll put 20 on that, Mike. If that is the matchup, straight up.
What's the question?
Who advances? Who advances? If it's,
I'll do it for $20. Yeah, I'll take UNLV straight up $20 against
virtual
Utah State.
handshake there.
How about, you know what? How about this? Dairy Queen.
That would be appropriate.
Yeah, we'll do about $20 straight up. That sounds good to me.
Little banana split action, or are we doing like
or in and out? We can do in and out on the strip.
Oh yeah.
In and out on
they
the
got
strip.
the shakes. They got shakes.
Yeah. How about that, Fiend? Who's arrested by in and out?
All right.
Okay.
I like that. Oh, we're gonna have a great time in Vegas. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Do we take it any further, guys? I think that might be like, I don't know if we should get ahead of ourselves. Do you guys want to go through the whole? I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling.
Maybe we'll do like a quick pod Thursday after all the quarterfinals are done to pick the next round.
If I don't know, birthday boy, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're busy.
We could hey, there could be a special place where we could do a traveling pod, a little traveling pod, if you will.
A micropod?
Yeah, micropod on the road, on the road with the Suns.
It's going to be an epic week in Vegas.
It's going to be neat. It's going to be pretty neat. Pretty neat. I think I'm okay. Whatever you guys want to do. I mean, I think you're starting to get into too many what ifs at that point. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think by then we'll know who actually advanced into the semis. And we thank you guys for joining. I think keeping up with all this, talking to all these other teams. We obviously talk Aztecs, but last year in the Mountain West, guys, what was your guys's, before we kind of wrap things up, 26 years in the Mountain West?
99.
What was your favorite Aztecs victory in the Mountain West tournament throughout its history of the Aztecs being in it?
In the tournament.
In the tournament wins only.
Here's some theoretical foreshadowing for me. It's beating Jimmer after they beat us twice during the season, and I feel like history could repeat itself if the cards fall where it may.
Can you give a little more detail on that, or do you not feel comfortable?
I'll tell you. It's if BYU beat us twice during the season, and we beat them in the conference in the championship game, right?
Yeah.
That game was that.
Jimmer.
I'm hoping history can repeat itself this year.
Okay.
If that,
do you all get that at home?
Everybody catches my drift. I think you guys do. I love that about you.
In that game, Aztecs beating BYU 72-54. Billy White, 21 points, 12 boards. Kawhi Leonard, 12 points, 10 boards.
Billy White, glue.
Whew. The rebounding, guys. The rebounding. Even back in those years, I mean, getting the rebounds was the big deal. And you're right, man. Third time was a charm. I think in this tournament, no matter how it goes, 3 games in a row, who's going to last? I remember that game BYU had New Mexico the night before. And that was I think it went in overtime or something like that, but it was a third time was a charm for them because they had lost to New Mexico twice that year as well. And they got over the hump, beat New Mexico. I mean, Jimmer just put everything he had. And then the next night, it was our turn to put the whooping on them. So, Fiend, or you got anything, Mike, on that? You got anything?
No, I mean, I'll let Fiend. I have a stat I want to tell you after this about the tournament, but go ahead.
Okay.
Awesome. My favorite game from the Mountain West tournament, 2018. got the jersey on. 2018.
Don't care.
Absolutely.
Don't care.
I love that. And hey, they had to win the tournament to get into the NCAA tournament, right? Last time they did that. So let's have hope that we can do that. Aztecs played Nevada in the semifinal. It was absolutely electric environment, completely packed that night, and we drilled them in the first half. I want to say it was 55-25. It was amazing. It was it was 55-25 at halftime. We were up 30 on the twins, the Martin twins, Jordan Caroline. They had a stack team. They had Musselman. That was just my favorite moment. The Fiend whistle was going just crazy to the point like it pissed off so many Aztec fans. They told me to stop. I was annoying. I said, "Look, we're up 30. What do you want? What more do you want?"
That's all. That was a great game. After they beat us handily in Nevada and then not in San Diego, but we stomped them pretty good.
Yeah, and then we handled New Mexico in the championship game, and Kel had an amazing performance that game, won MVP honors, and we went on to the tournament. So
that was the game I went to when they beat us on senior night up here before I decided to move up here. And we were watching this highlights, and the guys next to us were like, there's no highlights against you guys in this package. I'm like, yeah, because you guys never barely beat us. And so then I went across the street, and the guys were giving me a hard time, and I'm like, where'd you guys grow up? They're like, Del Cerro. I'm like, bro, get out of here, dude. You're Nevada fan? Get out of here. So that was the last time, 2018. That was the year. But hey, real quick.
Del Cerro, baby. Del Cerro.
Yeah, I'm like Del Cerro. Madra. So we've in our times in the Mountain West, we've been in the final 16 times. The next closest is 8, which is UNLV.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, we've had 7 championships. New Mexico's been in the final 7 times, but they've won 5. So they've won 5 out of 7 championships, which is pretty. I mean, when they get to it, they're pretty good. But yeah, 16 times and 7 championships. That's crazy. I think we're in 14 of the last 17 finals, or something like that. 14 of the last 16. So it'd be nice to end the year up there at the vacation home last season. Win the Mountain West tournament, celebrate on their floor, get to the NCAA tournament, and do some damage.
For sure.
Well, we made a top 10 best, most exciting Aztecs Mountain West tournament games list. And each of those games you guys called were on it. Not that Nevada game, Fiend, but the 2018 championship against New Mexico is on it. I'm putting the link in the chat right now, guys, so you guys can check out the top 10 all time. There's some ones in there that I had to refresh my memory on, dude. That overtime championship victory against Wyoming, whoa, that's really dialing the calendar back, the clock back in time, dude. But that was a phenomenal game, and I got highlights in there for you guys to check it out. And maybe some of you guys are younger Aztecs that you want to go back and look at some history, right? Because man, 26 years, guys, that's pretty good. But it's a new day next season. And guys, we're going to wrap things up because this final Mountain West Conference tournament preview is over. Thank you guys for joining. Hope to see many of you out in Las Vegas. If you make the trip, Aztec Nation, go represent. This is going to be your last chance in the vacation home, Thomas and Mack. Time to get loud and take it over. Bring home the championship trophy. The number 2 seeded Aztecs play Thursday. I want to say 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you are not there, then definitely watch it on TV and send us a voicemail. Send us a voicemail after the game. No matter what, send us a voicemail. You guys see the number on the line. We want to hear from you guys, and hopefully we'll be out there recording and
6
touch
o'clock
base with you
Thursday.
guys. 6 o'clock Thursday.
Which gives everybody time to skedaddle out a little bit early from their job, take that 4:15 flight, get over there to the Thomas and Mack, and let's get some dubs, man. Let's get some. Hey, I'm excited to see you guys. Fee and I are gonna do some creeping on Wednesday when we get it. You know what I mean? We're gonna have some fun, man. We got a good trip planned with you guys, and I'm excited to see everybody. And I hope Eli doesn't show up, to be honest with you.
Full force.
Huh?
Full force. What's going on, Flavor Guy? What you got for us on our way out the door, man? Hopefully we'll see you out there in Vegas as well.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. Well, I mean, I could speak for Aztec fans and what we want this season. We want to go. We want to win this conference tournament. Last year in the conference, we want to go make March Madness and win as many as we can. But I can also speak for Boise fans. I think the perfect season for a Boise fan is to win the conference tournament, go to March Madness, finally get one single win in March Madness, and then lose and fire Leon Rice. But they're not going to do that because we'll beat them after they beat New Mexico. So go Aztecs.
Brutal.
That's rough, bro.
Savage.
That's like,
Savage.
yeah, man. That's like some passive aggressive negativity, man. I
I
dig
mean,
it.
Rice probably deserves it, but
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Flavor Guy. Oh, brutal, man. Came
Yeah.
in flamethrower.
Jeez.
Aztec Fire with Flavor Guy. Thank you guys, everybody. Have a great night. Enjoy this Mountain West tournament week, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, sonsofmontezuma.com. Make sure you guys are checking out the online shop and save 15% off using the promo code MONTY. You guys know what time it is. SD Sports Fiend, Mike Tortolot. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you guys very soon this week in Vegas. Let's go.
See you guys Wednesday.
see you Wednesday. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.
Yay.